So, Senator Vance, you embody the American dream. I mean, just your story.
Thank you.
Just what is your message to people who can't afford groceries, who can't afford to buy a house?
Yep.
Just what is your message?
Well, I think my first message is don't get discouraged, right? Times are tough, and I think they're tough, unfortunately, because of the policies of Kamala Harris. But we're running this race to bring back some common sense leadership and to make the American dream more attainable, to make it easier for people to afford to buy groceries, to pay off their credit card debt, to buy a house, or at least to afford their rent. And I just think that when times are tough sometimes, the most important thing is to not lose faith in yourself. And I do think that we're going to get the government that these people deserve, the government that Pennsylvanians deserve. We just got to get rid of Kamala Harris, put Donald Trump back in the White House. And so people ought to keep the faith, and we're going to work hard to make sure they can afford their American dream.
A Trump-Vance administration, day one. What do you do to improve the economy?
Yeah, the most important thing, not just for Pennsylvanians, though obviously it really does affect Pennsylvanians, is open up America's energy resources. Drill, baby, drill. We've got the best energy resources maybe in the world here in Western Pennsylvania. If you do that, you drive down the cost of everything from manufacturing to groceries. You make it easier for our farmers to do what they do, and you also create a lot of good jobs with Pennsylvania energy workers. It is ridiculous how much our country right now relies on energy resources overseas when we've got plenty of it right here in our own country. We could create unbelievable prosperity if we became energy dominant, and we've got the policies to make that happen.
You know the issue with Nippon Steel in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, of course.
What is your position? What's a good idea? What's a bad idea?
Yeah. Well, look, we of course want U.S. Steel to remain U.S. Steel. We want it to thrive, and I think that it's definitely possible to do that. And unfortunately, the Biden administration, I think, has not done anything to ensure that U.S. Steel actually thrives as an American business. The reason Nippon Steel wants to buy U.S. Steel is they're trying to get around Donald Trump's steel tariffs. Well, we actually ought to be building on that, protecting more American jobs, protecting more American factories. The thing that we did in this country over 40 years is we stopped making enough of our own stuff. From our pharmaceuticals to our steel, increasingly even our own food, we got to be more self-reliant. We got to protect those American jobs and the American factories where those folks work.
How would you rate the government's response to the North Carolina incident?
You know, unfortunately, it's terrible. And I've talked to a lot of folks, and I think it's mostly just basic government incompetence where, think about this. 2 days after the 2010 earthquake in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, the 82nd Airborne was in a foreign country helping people out as they should have. We certainly want America to be a generous country. 7 days after these hurricanes in western North Carolina, the 82nd Airborne is still not fully deployed to that region of the country. We have got to have common sense, competent leadership. You need somebody in charge saying, we're not going to leave these people behind. We're going to do the search and rescue. We're going to recover every living person that we can, and we're going to make it possible for people to rebuild those communities. The government's done a terrible job, let's be honest, but when Donald Trump's president, that will change.
You going to win Pennsylvania?
I think we are going to win Pennsylvania. I think we're going to win Pennsylvania, we're going to win Michigan, we're going to win Wisconsin, and we're going to win the presidential election and make Donald Trump the next president.
Say to Pennsylvanians who can't be here at the rally,
why they
should vote for you, former President Trump?
I guess my pitch, especially to undecided voters, is, look, you don't have to agree with everything that Donald Trump says. You don't have to agree with everything that I say. But if you compare the records, Donald Trump, rising take-home pay, a secure border, low inflation, Kamala Harris, a wide-open border and runaway inflation, I think the results really speak for themselves. We can deliver the American dream. We can make your life more affordable. We can make it more attainable to live the basic necessities, to acquire the basic necessities, but we've got to have common sense leadership. We don't have that right now, but we will when Donald Trump wins.